Hey, what's going on, guys? Piper Downs coming at you guys on this lovely Sunday down here in Florida. Smoking on my Dr. Cabot Lavat with the etching. I've got some Samgaw with Best Brown in it, Best Brown Flake. And man, there must be something wrong with the tin I got, because I've smoked over half the tin. I haven't had one good smoke. It just doesn't burn right. It doesn't burn through. I mean, I've dried it out and it just won't burn right. I don't know what the deal is. I've tried several different preparations. It doesn't seem to want to stay lit. But anyway, yeah, I know. I'm wondering if you guys noticed I haven't been around the last couple of days. It's because I've been working on my damn truck. I got all the new parts I bought put in. Still didn't fix it. I know exactly what the problem is now. I have a leak in the fuel line between the fuel tank and the fuel pump. I mean, it's a fact. That not only is it like the last thing that I haven't fixed or that I haven't replaced yet, but I took a section of fuel hose and hooked it up to the pump and put that into a 2-gallon diesel can, and it ran great. It pumped it right out of the can, no problem. So it's that line running to the tank that's no good. It's like $160. There's a $160 kit. Oh, I just hit my funny bone so good. Man, it ain't funny at all. Feels funny though. But anyway, man, that just ruins a train of thought right there. Yeah, it's a $160 kit. I'm gonna go ahead and order it tomorrow, so it'll be here on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll have to drop the gas tank out though. That really sucks, but it's got to be done, I guess. But I've been doing a little bit of experimenting lately with tobacco, with flakes. Like with the rich dark flake, I'd been rubbing it out, getting wonderful smokes. But I did a little bit of folding and stuffing, and I don't know, it wasn't burning right, or I couldn't, it was just hard to get it to packed right. I've seen a guy recommending, though, a way to get best of both worlds is you can cross cut it. Take the flake and cut it into little slivers, that fall in. Basically, you got your flake that's a square, and you just cut really small pieces, and then pack the little cubes, the little rectangles that you have. And what's nice is it smokes really slow, like a fold and stuff. But it's easier to pack that way. And what I've noticed with some of these older tobaccos, some of these aged flakes, when you rub it out, you kind of, I don't want to say damage, but it seems to me like you rub off some of the age of it, the plume and stuff, which sucks. I feel like it kind of takes away from the character of the tobacco. And especially with I realized with the rich dark flake, when I was rubbing it out, I would end up with dust, a little bit of dust at the bottom of the pile. And it would be on my fingers too, some kind of a powdery substance. So I feel like I was losing, like maybe the casing or something was rubbing off or whatever. So that's when I started cutting it using scissors, and man, I feel like it has more flavor, and I've seen guys say that folding and stuffing, you get more flavor out of it. And I think it's because it's, you're not rubbing it and, rubbing some of the juices off, or, that's come off, the oils that come off onto your hands. I mean, I noticed a difference. There was a noticeable difference between rubbing it out and cutting it into small little slivers, or cutting it into little pieces. The cutting into little pieces was more flavorful. It burned slower. It was just like a fold and stuff, only it burned more like, it burned like I rubbed it out, but it smoked like I had folded it, like the flavor of the tobacco and stuff, which I feel like you get best of both worlds. You get the good burning characteristics of the ribbon cut, or of rubbing it out. A nice even burn, steady burn all the way to the bottom of the bowl. But you also get the slow, cool burning characteristics of the fold and stuff. And you're not molesting the tobacco when you rub it, or, when you cut it up like you would if you were rubbing it out. So, I don't know. If you guys, if you haven't tried it, I would suggest giving it a shot, especially if you've been having trouble with the tobacco, with a flake, with a blend that, you can't get it to burn right, or, I would just suggest, if you're having trouble finding the sweet spot with a flake, to do that cut method. You may find that it unlocks some potential from the tobacco. I mean, I found it to do that with the rich dark flake. It just kind of unlocks it. I get the wonderful, rich, molassesy, mapley, caramel type top. Whoa, excuse me. You get the caramel top notes. Of the rich dark flake, because they case it with something, some kind of a sweetness, and you don't really get the flavor when I rub it out. I can't really taste it, as opposed to folding and stuffing or cutting it. I get those sweet, delicious casing flavors that really complement the dark richness of those tobaccos. Man, this best brown flake seems to be burning much better here towards the end of the bowl. Because, man, I'm telling you, I could not get this stuff to smoke. It would either be hot, bitey, because I had to puff on it so much to keep it going, or, I don't know, man. It just wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't giving me good smokes, man, and I burned through over half the tin so far. But this has basically been the best bowl I've had so far. Kind of reminds me of Brighton a little bit, the best brown flake. It's light colored like that. Although it's not as sweet and fruity as Brighton. A little bit more grassy. And these are kind of loose flakes too. The ones that I got in my best brown tin. Kind of loose. They weren't really tight like a St. James flake or the Navy flake or the Full Virginia flake. That's really the only Galway flake that I've seen that was loose like that. The Sam's flake was tight. They were all tight flakes except for that best brown, which wasn't the loosest flake I've seen, but pretty darn loose. Yeah, this is smoking good now. I've been trying so hard to figure this blend out, I'm telling you. There we go. It's finally burning evenly. Yeah, but anyway, I gotta order that damn parts for my truck and get it fixed, man. I got customers calling me, and I just hope that I can get it put together by myself. Anyway, anyway, sorry about the little leave of absence. I may come back on later and do a review or a first impression or something. But until then, hope you all enjoyed the video. Until I see y'all next time, Piper Downs, over and out.